It's 11 p.m. and your car won't start in an empty parking lot. Your phone is already in your hand. 3 names sit at the top of your recent calls. You look at them for a second, then you put the phone back in your pocket and start walking toward the gas station instead. That's not stubbornness, but psychology tells a completely different story. There are 6 rare traits that define people who quietly refuse help, even when help is standing right in front of them. Trait 1. Compensatory competence, the skill you built because no one else was building it for you. Somewhere early, you learned that things got done when you did them and stalled when you waited on someone else. So you stopped waiting. You became fast, capable, the person who fixes it before anyone notices it broke. And here's the strange part. This isn't about being talented. It's about what happened the one time you did wait. Because there was a moment, small and easy to forget, where you needed something and the adult in charge was busy, distracted, or gone. Nothing dramatic happened. Nothing dramatic needed to happen. Your nervous system just quietly filed the lesson. Don't wait again. Competence became the workaround for a need that never got reliably met. Picture the version of you at 11, standing over a broken bike chain, watching the front door for a few seconds too long before deciding no one was coming. You figured it out yourself, oil-stained hands and all. That single afternoon didn't feel like a lesson, but it became one anyway, proof, filed away quietly, that waiting was the risk and doing was the guarantee. Trait 2. Vulnerability aversion, the flinch you feel right before the words, "I need help," leave your mouth. It's not that you can't say the words. You physically can, but something in your chest tightens a half second before you do, like your body is bracing for a door to close. That tightening has a name. Psychologists call it anticipatory shame, the body preloading embarrassment for a rejection that hasn't happened yet, based on one that did. Here's what makes this trait different from simple shyness. It doesn't fade with practice. You can ask for help successfully 10 times and still brace on the 11th, because the flinch was never really about the current moment. And the deeper reason for that will make sense once we look at what your body is actually protecting. Think about the last time a coworker offered to take something off your plate. You said, "I'm fine," honestly, before you'd even finished hearing the offer, not because you were fine, but because accepting felt like handing someone a piece of information you weren't ready to give away, that you couldn't do it all. If any of this is already sounding familiar, that's exactly the point of this video. Stick around, because the traits ahead go somewhere you probably haven't heard before. And if you want more of this kind of psychology, explained without judgment, hit subscribe before we continue. Trait 3. Reciprocity anxiety, the quiet math you do before letting anyone do anything for you. When someone offers to help, part of your brain doesn't hear kindness. It hears a debt opening. You start calculating, almost without meaning to, what will this cost me later? What will I owe? When will it come due? This isn't paranoia. It's a documented response called debt sensitivity, and it shows up most in people who grew up around help that came with strings, even quiet ones. A favor that was mentioned again 3 weeks later. A "remember when I helped you" dropped into an unrelated argument. But the part almost nobody explains is this: the anxiety isn't really about the favor. It's about not being able to predict the person offering it. And that unpredictability traces back further than you'd expect. Someone offers to drive you to the airport at 5 a.m., and instead of relief, you feel a small, specific dread. You're already scanning for how you'll pay it back, whether a coffee is enough, whether it's ever really enough. The favor hasn't even happened yet, and you're already negotiating your way out of owing anyone anything. Trait 4. Control preservation, the reason "I've got it" comes out of your mouth before you've even thought about whether you actually do. Letting someone help means letting someone else touch the outcome. And for you, the outcome was never just a task. It was the one thing you could actually manage when everything else felt unmanageable. And the obvious explanation that you just like being in charge isn't actually the real one. This isn't about needing to be in charge. It's about needing to know with certainty that at least one part of your life will go the way it's supposed to. Help introduces a variable, and your nervous system has never fully trusted variables it didn't create itself. Your roommate reaches for the moving box before you can stop them, and you feel your jaw tighten watching them carry it the wrong way. It's not really about the box. It's about the fact that for 1 second, the outcome belonged to someone else's hands, and your body didn't know what to do with that. Trait 5, trust calibration failure. Somewhere back in your history, trust wasn't betrayed dramatically. It was just never proven reliable enough, often enough, for your brain to file it as safe. Not a single wound, a pattern of small, forgettable moments where leaning on someone gave an inconsistent return. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. And a brain that can't predict an outcome doesn't relax around it. It avoids it entirely. This is the mechanism that explains most of what came before it. The competence, the flinch, the math, the control, each one traces back to the same unanswered question. Is it safe to need someone? Your brain never got a clear yes, so it learned to lean on itself instead. But most isn't all. There's one more layer, and it's the one almost nobody in your life has ever noticed. Maybe it was a parent who showed up fully present some weeks and completely checked out the next, with no pattern you could ever map. Not neglect, not cruelty, just enough inconsistency that your nervous system stopped trying to predict it and started protecting against it instead. The final trait is different from all the others because it isn't a reaction at all. Somewhere along the way, not trusting stopped being a feeling and became a system. And the 6th trait is the one most people never notice about themselves: selective reliance. You're not incapable of trusting anyone. You built a quiet, unspoken standard of proof, and you apply it to everyone who enters your life without ever saying it out loud. Almost everyone gets the polished, self-sufficient version of you. A very small number of people get past the standard entirely. This isn't hypocrisy. It's precision, and it's the one trait that was never really about help at all. It was about who gets to matter to you. Notice how there's one friend you'd call at 2 a.m. without hesitation, and a dozen others you'd never bother, not because they wouldn't help, but because they haven't yet earned the specific kind of proof your history taught you to require. That friend didn't get lucky. They got tested, probably without knowing it, over years. None of this means you can't be helped. It means your brain is running a very old risk assessment, built from evidence that's years, sometimes decades, out of date. The door isn't closed. It's just been waiting for someone patient enough to knock more than once. You were never broken. You were built differently, by a history that taught you to trust your own 2 hands before anything else, because for a long time, they were the only thing that showed up every single time. Which trait hit closest to home? Drop a number in the comments.